Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, and welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Hearts channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot motherfucking topics. What's up, you nosy motherfuckers? And welcome back to the neighborhood. Y'all know I love to do my show reviews, and I am tapped in and locked into WAG to riches. These girls' fate got me in a chokehold. So, of course, I said I was not going to be a greedy bitch and I'll binge watch the episodes. So I'm trying to give myself like 2 days in between to watch because it's only 8. And you know how Netflix gets down. They put all their seasons up. I mean, all their episodes up. So then you're there like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I watch the whole season. I don't want to do that. So I'm trying not to do that. In any event, today I watched episode 2. So this is season 1, episode 2 of WAG to Riches. It's airing on Netflix, and the name of this episode is called Queen Bees and Wannabes. All right, so let's get into the episode. The episode starts with Sherelle and the family, including Ocho Cinco. They spending their day on a yacht. They are spending their day on the yacht. And immediately as soon as they get up on the yacht, is them, the kids. They have a lot of kids in between them because as soon as they get up there, Sherelle starts with the between she and Chad, there are 11 kids. Stony, come in here for a second, Stony. Come in here for a minute. Stony, see, this is the part right here where I would have been dragging this bitch to hell. I would have been dragging her to hell, Stony. And this is the part that disappointed me about you. It's not a bitch on this planet that's going to make me feel bad for being able to spend my motherfucking funds because I don't have to spread them in between 9 million fucking kids and the man is, girl. So the fact that this girl was trying to get on you because she has to be frugal, bitch, yes, of course you have to be frugal. I have a rich baby father that every now and again, if I want to call up and get a house purchase for me, I can do that. You have a rich man who has 3 million kids and they all have to come before you. So, bitch, don't bring that mean girl energy over here to me because you pissed about your life. So, anyway, Sherelle, please, with the whole 11 kids. Stony, you better than me. I would have drug her ass for filth. But anywho, in her confessionals, Sherelle starts to go on about how she slid in Chad's DMs and she wasn't looking for nothing serious, and it ended up getting serious. And one of the things that she loves about Chad is that he's so supportive. Sherelle, come back to the front. Come back to the front, Sherelle. Come back to the front. Come back to the front. And I want you to come with her, Stony. I want you to come with her because I want to show you once again where the dragging would take place. Now, if I'm not mistaken, about maybe 2 weeks ago, if that long ago, it was announced that on Shay Shay Media Group, whatever, I guess Shannon Sharp has this whole entity regarding, or production company or something like that. It was announced that Sherelle's new podcast is going to be on there. And honey, when I tell y'all Ocho Cinco was not happy about that, according to him, he felt like he should have been informed about that business deal before it took place. Sherelle, if he's such a fucking supportive man, the only information he needed was that you just landed a business opportunity and he should be happy for you. But according to you, he's so supportive. Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that. But like I said, Stony, you ain't know how to drag, girl. You ain't know how to drag. So anywho, on a yacht, they get to discussing the wedding. And I swear to God, as they are discussing this wedding, you know what I saw? You know what I saw? I saw Basketball Wives. I saw Basketball Wives 2.0 because the same antics that Chad was going on Basketball Wives with about him and Evelyn wedding is the same antics he was going on with right here, right? Acting like a divo. Oh, yes, well, I want the budget to be this and the destination to be this and the layout to be that, and you to walk this way and you to talk this way. And I'm looking at Chad like that's the same thing you did before you cheated on that girl, got them condoms, found in that condom, you headbutted her ass. So I'm sorry to tell you, my girl, Sherelle, I see a headbutting on the horizon, but I'm going to go ahead and mind my business about that, right? So, anywho, that was it. In the next scene, you see my girl, Jules and Sade. They meet up, and I think they're having lunch, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on a second. Yeah, they're having lunch, and basically, it looks like Jules is pretty much trying to. I don't want to say catch Sade up on, but hold on 1 second. Yes, so they sit down to have lunch, right? And I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember Sade's name in the last episode. I couldn't remember Sade's name, but and speaking of, that's my new homegirl. That is my new homegirl. So anyway, and that flip over style that Sade got, I'm getting that this summer for Pookie's 40 and Flex and extravaganza this year. Y'all get prepared because it's coming this summer. Anywho, they got into this conversation. As soon as they sat down, and Jules was like, I think I have to take a plan B. So Sade was like, I'm sorry, why would you need to do that? And I was looking because, I never took a plan B. That's crazy. I've always heard people talk about it, but I've never taken a plan B. So anywho, Jules basically just shares that, she may need to take a plan B because her and Duke have been rekindling their little romance, right? And she was like, but she's just a little apprehensive about, how this will go regarding their daughter. So then she starts explaining the issues they had in their relationship, which was Duke didn't want her taking on certain business ventures, and apparently he didn't want her being affiliated with certain people, aka Yeezy. That's all that meant to me. It seems as though he didn't want her having too much affiliation with Kanye West, being the mother of his child. I don't even know who the fuck Duke is. So I was like, who is that? But anywho, she was like, a lot of that is what ruined their relationship because she didn't take the business deals, but for whatever reason, he felt that she harbored some animosity towards him because of it. And, it pretty much ruined their relationship. I felt really bad for Jules because she basically was saying like he's not supportive. He always tried to talk down on her. He was saying he always calls her situation her little business, just basically saying that he's a man that tries to belittle her. And she was like, you could tell this really hurt her feelings because she got emotional about it and everything. And she was like, I don't want to be with a man that's going to treat me like that. And more importantly, I don't want to show my daughter that type of treatment is okay. She was like, so for right now, I don't really know where this is going to go, but I'm just a little nervous about moving forward with him. And he is the father of my child, right? So I was thinking to myself, I want to know, first of all, how old is the daughter? That would have been my first question. And then my second, not question, but what I would have said secondly is not even just a man. You just don't let anybody treat you like that. You just don't let anybody treat you like that. But it's a saying that I learned a long time ago. And it says, if you live off a man's compliments, you'll die off his criticism. When people know that the things that they're going to say is going to affect you, they will definitely try it. They will definitely try it. What you have to be mindful of is not letting folks get under your skin and definitely not treating you like shit. But the only way they can do so, in my opinion, is when sometimes you feel that way about yourself. That's always what I've seen. I've only seen a person be able to get away with those behaviors when that's kind of what you already think about yourself and they're kind of confirming it for you. In any event, what I would have been saying to Jules if she was in the healing heart session is you just might need to work on your own self-esteem and building up yourself before you try to get into a relationship with anybody, because I also feel that people can sense that on you and they try to use it against you. So hopefully, things get better with them too. And she also does some healing work. Jules, I think you should come for a healing heart session because I think a lot of what happens to you with that Yeezy situation broke you. Anywho, moving right along. And the next scene, we see my girl MJ. Y'all know I like MJ, right? So she's in the studio recording and she gets a visit from some friends, right? So one of the visits that she got was from a friend named Kiki. That's a little chunky one. I'm assuming that Kiki is somebody and we're going to see her moving forward on the show because I didn't understand why they said her name and they didn't say anybody else's name, like they didn't say the light-skinned girl's name here. And also she was the one doing the most talking. So I imagine something is going to be brewing with Kiki in the future. She might even be on the show. Anywho, she came in with it was Kiki, a girl, and another guy, and they came in. I don't care what nobody say. The guy that came in with them is some relative to Kodak Black. I won't be shocked if Kiki is some relative to Kodak Black, but I can definitely tell the gentleman that came in with the black shirt right there next to the light skinned girl. Yes, that's Kodak Black cousin. That's Kodak Black brother. That's Kodak Black somebody because he looked just the fuck like him, right? So I was like, Lord. So they did talking. And remember, last time we heard about MJ, she had got arrested. So she was giving us a tea on what happened with that, right? So she said they were all going out on a boating excursion. I'm guessing it was a family one because Kodak Black was going to be there, his other baby mother, his other kids. She was supposed to be there and her kids. But she said she couldn't make it, so she ended up sending her kids with her mom. She said, and on a boat, one of the baby mothers, I guess, was recording herself and so on and so forth. And what she did was she recorded herself grinding up on Kodak Black. And she was like, listen, y'all already know, he already know, and she already know that that shit right there would trigger me. She was like, so she did it purposely to trigger me. And I told myself, when I catch you, bitch, I'm on demon time with you. So don't act shocked and appalled when I get on demon time with you, because you know exactly what you was doing, and now your ass is gonna feel it, right? So she said eventually when she ran into her, she stood on business. And she was saying, you know, a lot of it just has to do with they know how to trigger her and they do things purposely. She was like, and then on top of that, she's going through some postpartum depression. She just had a baby 3 months prior. So she feel like that's affecting her emotions, and she just did not handle herself. But she was like, moving forward, because her whole jail stint was disastrous, even though it was only for like a day. She was like, she was mortified. It was filthy. It was a terrible experience. And she's not trying to have that again. So she has learned her lesson. I was kind of looking like, hopefully. I wasn't completely sold on the fact that MJ learned her lesson, but okay, that's what she said, so that's what it is, right? So in the next scene, we see your girl Keita is meeting up with Sherelle, and they went to look at this beautiful fucking home. It was $49 million, but it was worth every penny. That house was so beautiful, and I guess Keita and her man Tyreek are looking to purchase the home, right? So Keita. I don't know. Something is not right on Keita face. Something is not right on Keita face. Something is giving me, well, first of all, I would like to see some old pictures of Keita, but something is giving me she had a fresh nose job or something. Something on the face was too stiff and something wasn't right, right? So anyway, she started giving the backstory of how she met Tyreek and what he got going on. And then ding, 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 she announced that she was pregnant. So I was like, okay. Maybe I need to take my nose, I need to retract my nose job comments, because maybe that's why she kind of has like that look. You know, it may not be the nose job. It may just be because she's pregnant. But why the hell she gonna say Tyreek had 9 kids? I said, I'm sorry. She said, yes, Tyreek had 9 kids, and the kid that she was pregnant with would make baby number 10. I was like, go on, girl. So, anywho, Sherelle nosy ass started doing what she does, stirring the pot, asking, well, do you be having baby mama drama? And she was like, well, a few of them, you know, was peeking, like, where this bitch come from and why is she queen bee? Because what the hell made you marry her? But I mean, really and truly, it wasn't too bad. Then she asked Sherelle, she said, I mean, you got a fucking boatload as well. So how was that going for you? So she was like, girl, it then got so good that the baby mamas don't even call him, they call me. I was having a discussion with my very good friend earlier, and I just, you know, once again, I will never understand what it is until I'm in those shoes. But just hearing about it, even from people who have money, because you know, initially you think like maybe that's like a broke bitch issue, right? But no, even hearing from it with people who have money, like what is that? Like, what is that? Because in my mind, I'm assuming, and I need all the baby mothers to drop down in the chat and please help me out with this one. I'm not saying you can't love a motherfucker. I'm not saying you can't want to be with a motherfucker. But when a motherfucker is showing you that they have moved on, what is that behavior that takes place when the person is acting as though they don't still want you? And I'm not talking about, let me rephrase, because I know what some baby mothers will drop in the chat and say, oh, because what about when they still hitting it? And I'm not talking about those baby fathers. I'm not talking about the ones that's still sleeping with the baby mother and lying and going in between. And I'm not flirting, and I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the ones that have made it abundantly clear that they have moved on, and you now physically can see them with that person. Also, that person has been around for a significant amount of time, and there's still an issue. What is that? What is that? Also, what is that when you claim you have moved on and have your own situation, but still have an issue with the woman or the man, because this could be anybody, right? Who you have a child with, spouse. Like what? I don't know. Y'all drop down in the chat and let me know about that. But anyway, then she brought up, Keita brought up some scandal, which very much confused me. She said Tyreek had 3 kids that he ain't know nothing about. Well, I told y'all from the last episode that Tyreek was giving me his IEP leaked out. So maybe that could be true. I don't know. So anywho, then they start discussing the girl group. And Sherelle was like, well, listen, what did you think of the ladies, so on and so forth. So Keita shared how she like previously knows Sade and they had a weird interaction before. So Keita said that I guess these are Miami Dolphin players, but they was going to play somewhere else. And wherever they was going to play at, it was really, 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 really cold. So the ladies was like, well, listen, we don't want to be out in the cold or wives as the players. So they all got together in a group chat and was like, we should rent a suite. So the ladies is in there talking about how much it's going to cost, who was putting in. The people who said they didn't want to put in, they got taken out the group chat. The people who did want to get put in, they stayed in the group chat, right? So so Keita said she put her money in, and that day they were recording something called, what is it called? Hard Knocks. Hard Knock. Yeah, something, whatever that is. I guess it's a show. And in recording, I guess they must have been recording Keita at that time. So she wanted to record in the suite. And the ladies was like, no. So she was like, oh shit, no. So she was like, and she felt like Sade led the charge for the ladies to say no, right? So I was like, yeah, that was a little mean, right? So Keita was like, from then, they got off on the wrong foot, right? So then Sherelle goes on her confessional and she like, oh, well, I've seen this before. It's like a hierarchy. And she feels like, because Tyreek is coming to the Dolphins as one of the best wide receivers and Sade's man chosen is not currently playing for the Dolphins at that time, there could be some jealousy. Sherelle, shut the fuck up because you're creating hierarchy in this group right here. So don't act like you've seen that somewhere else. No, you've seen it right here because you're actively doing it. So shut the fuck up. So anywho, she said to Keita, she was like, well, let me find out that little nice girl attitude is just an act. Shut the fuck up again, Sherelle, because what did Sade ever do to you? You just hear what Keita is telling you happened between them two. That has nothing to do with you. You're a grown-ass woman. Mind your fucking business. So anywho, let me see what happens next. Hold on one sec, my good people. So, anywho, in the next scene, they head on over to Portia's having an event. So she has a brand called Bad Bitch Good Mom, and she's having like a Mother's Day event, and she invited all the ladies, right? So what I thought was weird was that she made it a point to bring up to Sherelle that she didn't invite Stoney once again because Sherelle doesn't want Stoney around because she's icing her out and everybody else is following suit. And she also said that she didn't invite Sade, but Sade invited herself. So I was confused about why Sade wouldn't be invited, but then I heard it was like a Mother's Day thing, and Sade is not a mom. So then Portia goes and goes out confessional and made up some weird shit about Sade being weird and uptight, and then she said that Sade is her friend, air quotes, and she just noticed that her behavior was changing. My whole thing was, if she was your friend and she was being weird and uptight, instead of uninviting her to an event, why you didn't just call her on the phone and be like, bitch, you good? Because lately when I've been seeing you, you've been acting weird. Is everything okay? But instead of you doing that, you now going around a group to say weird things about her and show that, you're not fucking with her, but you're also saying she's your friend. Y'all bitches is too old for this. So I could already see this show will get on my nerves and I'm going to constantly be cursing y'all the fuck out. So anyway, Alexis and Ashley pull up, and then Sade and Jules pull up, right? And then MJ pulled up. MJ looked so cute. MJ looked so cute. She had like on a Balenciaga tights, a Balenciaga shoes, a Balenciaga sweater. She looked absolutely adorable. I like MJ. Like I said, she brings a more youthful, vibrant kind of, I like her being on the scene. But I like when she pulled up, she was very, very honest. She was like, listen, I'm sorry I'm late, y'all, but I didn't really want to come. I kind of was not in the mood to be doing no kumbaya, but listen, I'm here, right? So then Jules she was like, well, who else is invited? Then Sherelle goes out of her way once again to point out that Stoney was not invited. And Jules and Alexis was like, come on. This is bullshit at this point. Come on. This is kiddie. This is childish. Come on, cut it out, please, right? So when she starts saying that, Sade was like, Yeah, and it's mean, right? So now everybody's going around the room and say, "Well, I'm not mean. I'm not mean. I'm not mean. I'm not mean," trying to deny it, right? So MJ was like, "Well, we all know who's mean. Like, let's be clear. We all know who's mean, right?" So they was like, "Who's mean? Tell it, tell it, tell it." And MJ was like, You, Sherelle, you're fucking mean." So now she's trying to look shocked in the pool, like, "Well, why are you saying I'm mean? Why are you saying I'm mean?" Hold on. So Jules and Sade was like, "Listen, this is childish." And they was like, from the last incident, we looked Stony up. And they was like, when they went through and read everything that took place with the sex tape and all that, they was like, pretty much what she said to us that night is pretty much what it really is, right? And they was like, they just feel bad that she's being treated this way about this one mistake she made in the past. Like, it's too much, right? So Sade was like, "Listen, we can all coexist. We can all coexist. The space don't have to be weird. Why we can't just have it that way?" So Sherelle was like, "Yes, we can all be in the same building. She just can't be at my table." And then Sherelle goes into her confessional, and once again, she's judging Stony, saying that Stony is an old ass bitch, and she's a grandmother, and that she had all of this money and she wasted trying to oppress people, and the people that she's around, she doesn't. I just, Sherelle, please, Sherelle, I hate this for you, girl. I hate this for you, right? So now when they're saying you're the mean bitch and calling her out, Ashley, which I've stated before is one of Sherelle's minions, she tried to jump in and save Sherelle. So she was like, "Well, wait a minute. I think it's also mean girl behavior when you, Sade, wouldn't let Keita film in the suite that y'all rented when y'all was wherever y'all was at," right? So Sade was like, "How did you hear that?" So Ashley was like, "Sherelle told me." Sade was like, "Of course she did," right? So then Sade went into explaining what the situation was, right? So apparently it was everything that Keita said, except there was a different feeling on Sade's end, right? Sade was like, "Listen, yes, we were all," she said, "first of all, we were all in a group chat. Came in a group chat and said, 'Listen, who wants to rent something? Is going to be too cold for us to be out there in the cold.' Everybody who wanted to rent, we went over to another group chat." She was never saying anything in the group chat. She basically had another one of the women speaking for her. She never actually spoke, but she did say she wanted to put in money. She did actually put in money to participate in renting the suite, right? She was like, the issue was when she showed up with a filming crew, which would be the Hard Knock people, and they wanted to film. And Sade said, "Well, if they want to film, then they need to get a suite, right? Because they're not going to use our suite to film." Now, do I understand both parts? Absolutely. Absolutely. I understand how both of them feel. I understand Keita, which is, bitch, I put my money in this. So if I want to bring somebody in here with me, I should be able to do so because my money is invested here. That's one, right? I also understand Sade, which is, you guys are a big ass company, I'm guessing, and you have money. If you needed to rent a space to record something, then you guys should have used your money instead of allowing us to use ours, and now you want to capitalize off of what we invested in. Hell fucking no, right? So like Sade said, my beef was not actually with Keita, the other young lady, or they was like basically they were just caught up in the middle. My issue was that Hard Knocks was trying to get over and we wasn't fucking letting them, right? I mean, again, depending on the type of woman you are and the way that you think, then you could be on either side, right? What I didn't like was that instead of Keita letting it go because it clearly wasn't a big deal, and if it was saying something to her, she went and passed it off as gossip and to talk about the girl. And now when you pass it off to the bitch who already want everybody gossiping in the first place and want all the drama, Sherelle, she's intrigued by that. So now she brings it back to the group, aka one of her minions, to get her to do her dirty work, which was Ashley. And now here Ashley goes saying, "Oh, well, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that." And I love Sade was not motherfucking playing with them bitches. Sade was not playing with them bitches. She was like, "Listen, at the end of the day, this ain't none of y'all motherfucking business." Right? But before she said that, Portia was like, well, my antennas went up. She was like, because when we were at the last event, remember I told you guys they had the whole Allure event. She was like, you were like a little standoffish, and all of a sudden Chosen showed up at the event the other night with his all black everything unexpectedly. So it looked like he was there like to kind of be a guard dog because you felt uncomfortable around Keita, right? So she was like, I assumed at that point that you did have a problem with Keita. My whole thing was, what the fuck was Chosen going to do if Sade had an issue with Keita? Number one on the list, he's a man, so what could he have done to a woman? And number two on the list, it pretty much gives you the impression, if you're watching the show, that Sade could hold her motherfucking own, because she did, right? So at that point, Sherelle was like, well, it's giving fake, and I can't deal with fake bitches. And then it went up from there. Sade called Sherelle. Oh, she told her she was not going to little girl her. She was not Stony, and don't play in her motherfucking face. And Sherelle said, girl, you ain't even supposed to be here. You weren't invited. Sade, then Sherelle had the audacity to tell Sade, shut up and do not fucking talk to her. I said, what? So they was kind of going back and forth, right? So then the chef came over to kind of break up the monotony of it all. She was like, hey guys, the food is actually about to be served. So let's get into that and stop all this bickering. At that point, Sade got up and excused herself, and she went to the bathroom. Jules went in the bathroom to check on her, and Sade was like, check this out. Let me let you know something, Jules, and I'm gonna let these bitches know as well. I don't got time to try to be down with no girl cliques with these old ass bitches. That's not what I'm here for, and I'm not gonna let none of these bitches play in my face. So I'm gonna go back to that table and sit silent, but if they come from my neck, I'm dragging my nuts across stairs. Let's rock and roll, right? So they went back out there, right? And Sherelle was talking, saying, well, I don't think that, trying to pretend like she's unclear. Hi, April. She's unclear about why they're calling her a mean girl. She's like, but I don't understand. Just because I don't want to hang with somebody, that means I'm a mean girl? No, that don't mean that, Sherelle. That don't mean that. And I'm not even gonna let you get away with that, you little stiff, deer face bitch. That's not what it means, right? It has nothing to do with you not wanting to hang around the girl. On top of you not wanting to hang around the girl, you're judging the girl, you saying nasty things to and about the girl, you laughing behind the girl back, you giving the other women ammunition to judge her negatively, and you doing all of this shit maliciously and for the world to see. And that's what makes you a mean girl. That's what makes you a mean girl. Because whatever Stoney's reputation is, you don't know her personally. And you can have feelings about what you heard. The fact that you're outwardly displaying those feelings and trying to get these ladies to turn against her because of what you heard about her, that's mean girl behavior, and it's fucking nasty. And you too fucking old for it. And I don't like it, and I don't like your character on the fucking show, right? So then Sade returned to the table. Sade was off their ass. She just sat there looking at them. They was like, everybody take shots. Sade was like, absolutely not. I will not be taking no shots. I will not be breaking no breath with these old bitches, because I'm not playing with their fucking ass. Right, Sade, right? So then Portia stands up and she gives this phony ass toast about, thank you, ladies. Thank you for coming to support. Yada, yada, yada. And as she's giving the phony ass toast, she announced that she's with child. All right, girl. Happy for you. Moving right along, right? So in the next scene, we get MJ is meeting up with her mom. Her madam, whatever the fuck this was, right? So anyway, the mother shows up. And again, I mean, I'll start by saying she looks good for an older woman, right? So MJ begins to talk a little bit about her past, which is her dad was a robber and her mom was a pimp, is a pimp. Never mind. Let me not judge this old lady. But and then she's tried, MJ was like, she stayed with her grandmother, and then her grandmother passed away, and she ended up going to live with mom, right? So mom sat down. Mom looked like she had a BBL. She looked like she just got her face pulled back and her titties lifted, and she was trying to be 22, so she looked more like Sade's evil twin. I mean, more like MJ's evil twin than her mother. But either way, right? She sat down. She's like, hey, what's up? What's going on? She's like, nothing. She's like, yeah, I've heard since I've been away, because the mom was out of town, that, there was some form of physical altercation. What is that about? So she was like, yeah, bitches playing in my face. They trying to trigger me. They doing shit I don't like. And mom, they're jealous of me. And mom was like, yes, everyone's jealous of you. So, that's pretty much why this is happening, right? And the mother was like, listen, I don't give a fuck about all that. What I give a fuck about is you making sure you keep this rich baby father around so he can continue to fund your life, so you could continue to pay for my BBLs and getting my lipo and getting my fucking cheekbones pulled back to Africa and getting my titties lifted up to Saudi Arabia, right? And I mean, that was the long and the short of the conversation. I don't like this. I don't like this, right? I'm sorry, and I know this is gonna sound really, really judgmental, And maybe I'll come back to eat these words, but I'll say them here because I can and I want to, right? I'm not a fan of sister moms. No shade, I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of sister moms. I'm not a fan of the daughter that's 22 and the mother that's 39, and they hang out like siblings and do every single thing together. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. And the reason why I'm not a fan of it is because your mom is your biggest support system, your biggest cheerleader, your biggest critic, your the person you want to emulate, the person you want to be like. A lot of times when I see sister moms, I don't see much difference or growth between the two to be able to differentiate. So most times you see the 39-year-old making the same choices and decisions that the 22-year-old is making, or they're advising them to make those immature decisions because they are immature. And for me, that's a turnoff because I've always been taught as the elder in a space. I don't give a damn if you're 12 and the people there around you is 6. You're always supposed to be leading, guiding, and mentoring younger people than you in the right direction. Now, granted, when you're an adult and you're hanging around adults, I'll use my sister. My sister and I are 13 years apart, and my sister just turned 30 last week, right? Now, while I recognize that my sister is a grown woman and we can do many things together because she is technically a grown ass woman, at the end of the day, she is still younger than me, significantly younger than me. So it's always going to be my job, no matter how old she gets, to mentor her, lead her, and guide her in the right direction and help encourage her to make decisions, that are outside of the box and the thoughts for her, because she's so young and I'm the elder. These sister moms nowadays, we smoking together, we drinking together, and you fucking somebody in the crew and I'm fucking a homeboy. Right. And then another thing I didn't like what happened here that MJ did, and I've seen this time and time again too, is that instead of correcting the younger person, you're making that young lady feel like everybody is jealous of her and everybody dislikes her and she never does anything wrong because she's a princess. At the end of the day, that can be true in one realm, but then there's other things that you need to make the young person aware of and help them to see because you're the elder. And most times with the sister moms, I don't see them do that. I don't see them do that. I see them with the same edges and sideburns as their daughter. I see them passing the blunt to each other. I see them aiding and abetting each other in stupid ass choices and decisions. And then I also sometimes see them start fighting once they get drunk. I'm not a fan of the sister moms. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to judge. I like MJ. I think she's a very beautiful young girl. And I also think she's low-key mature. She's just going through her feelings as a young girl. But I didn't like the conversation her and her mom had. I didn't. It gave me, listen, you lucked up with a rich nigga. Don't fuck this up. He gonna do some bullshit sometimes and your ass needs to allow it because he's rich. I love you and you're a princess, okay? Okay, let's go get our lipo and our injections. I wasn't here for it. But at the end of the day, that's what we have now. So in any event, the episode went off at that point. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new show. We have a new show, and your girl is excited. Please hit the thumbs up on this video. I will be doing Lit at 6 today, the celebrity rundown. So tune into Lit at 6 because it will be lit. We talking Real Housewives of Potomac. We're talking Married to Medicine. We're talking Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're talking Baddies. We're talking all of the reality shows and all the bullshit they on in this season. I also am watching Toya and Ray Janae. You guys tap back in with Toya and Ray Janae. I think it's on We, and I think it airs every Friday. But if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it right now on the All Black Network. I actually watched it today. I'm going to rewatch it and do my notes so I can review it. Ladies and gentlemen, I love WAGs to riches. I'm tuned in and locked in. You guys get tuned in and locked in, and we'll discuss this more. Happy Friday and enjoy your day.